It's day one in your new life. You step out of your apartment in Panama City and the warm tropical breeze hits you. Behind you, a modern skyline that rivals Miami. In front of you, a $5 plate of arroz con pollo at a little cafe run by the same family for 40 years. You just booked your next flight at 25% off thanks to your retirement visa. And later this week, you'll take a bus to the mountains for $3.50 and sip some of the rarest coffee in the world. This is Panama, and today we're going deep. Hi everyone, I'm April. When I first started dreaming about a life abroad, it felt like a puzzle with a million tiny pieces. I was looking for a place that felt like home, but also like an adventure. A place that was beautiful, of course, but also practical. I needed to understand the real story, not just the glossy brochure version. That's why Panama may be perfect for you, and it's what I want to share with you today. This isn't just about the numbers and the visas. It's about finding a place where you can truly build a life that feels authentic to you, a life filled with meaning and joy. So grab a cup of coffee. We're going to walk through this together, step by step. We'll talk about what your money can really buy you here, from a simple, quiet life in the mountains to a bustling city existence. We'll explore the different kinds of homes you can create for yourself and uncover the real magic behind the world-famous Pensionado visa. This is the no-fluff, real-deal guide I wish I had when I started my journey. Let's build this dream together. All right, let's talk about the heart of it all, the budget. This is where the dream starts to feel real. In Panama, your cost of living isn't just one number. It's a beautiful, flexible thing that you get to design. It's like picking out the finishes for your home. You can choose what matters most to you. We see folks living wonderfully on a wide range of budgets, and I want to show you what that can look like. It's about finding that sweet spot where you're not just surviving, you're truly thriving and enjoying every single day. Let's look at a simple, lean budget. Imagine living in a smaller town, maybe in the countryside near Pensionado or Las Tablas. Here, a couple could live a very comfortable life for around $1,200 a month. This isn't about cutting corners. It's about embracing a simpler pace. Your rent for a nice, local-style two-bedroom home might be just $400. You're shopping at the local markets for fresh produce, where a whole pineapple costs $1 and you can fill your bags with yucca, plantains, and fresh cilantro for just a few more. This is a life rich in community and connection. Now let's talk about a more mid-range budget, which is where many expats find their comfort zone. For about $2,000 to $2,500 a month, a couple can live exceptionally well. This could mean a lovely apartment in a mountain town like Boquete or a beach community like Coronado. You have enough to cover a great health insurance plan, run your air conditioning when you want to, enjoy dinner out a few times a week, and maybe even have a part-time housekeeper. This is a life of comfort and convenience, without the hefty price tag you'd expect back home. For those who want a life with all the bells and whistles, let's explore a more luxurious budget of around $3,500 a month or more. This opens up a world of possibilities. You could be living in a high-rise apartment in Panama City with an ocean view and a rooftop pool. Your weekends might include yacht club memberships, fine dining at world-class restaurants, and frequent trips to the incredible San Blas or Pearl Islands. This budget allows you to enjoy the very best of what Panama has to offer, living a life that feels like a permanent vacation. So let's break down those everyday costs. When you go to the grocery store, a chain like Reba Smith or Super 99, you'll find a mix of local and imported goods. A dozen eggs, about $2, a liter of milk, around $1.50, a whole roasted chicken ready for dinner, that's about $7. And a good bottle of Chilean wine will only set you back about $8. These little things add up, or rather, they don't add up in the way you might be used to, giving you so much more room in your budget. Dining out is a huge part of the culture here, and it's wonderfully affordable. You can get a fantastic menu ejecutivo, a set lunch with soup, a main course, a side, and a drink for $5 to $7 at a local fonda. Or you can have a lovely dinner for two at a mid-range restaurant in the city, with appetizers and a bottle of wine for around $50. The ability to go out and socialize without breaking the bank is something that adds so much richness to life here. Transportation is another area where you'll see significant savings. A taxi ride across most of Panama City is just a few dollars. The modern, clean metro system will take you from one end of the city to the other for 35 cents. And if you want to explore the country, a comfortable, air-conditioned bus from Panama City to David, a 6-hour journey, costs about $15. It makes you feel like the entire country is your backyard, ready to be explored. Ultimately, the cost of living in Panama is a story you write yourself. You decide on the setting, the characters, and the plot. You can choose to live simply, surrounded by nature, or you can opt for a life of urban sophistication. The most beautiful part is that you have the choice. It's about creating a home and a lifestyle that fits not just your budget, but your heart. And that, to me, is the true definition of wealth. Finding the right house is about so much more than walls and a roof. It's about finding the place where your life will unfold. It's the backdrop for your morning coffee, your family dinners, your quiet moments. In Panama, the options for your home base are as diverse as the landscape itself. From a breezy beach bungalow to a cool mountain retreat or a sleek city apartment, there's a place here that's waiting to feel like yours. Let's walk through some of these communities and see what kind of home you can create. First, let's talk about the city. Panama City is this incredible mix of old and new. You can find a modern 2-bedroom apartment in a neighborhood like El Cangrejo or San Francisco with a pool, a gym, and 24-hour security for anywhere between $900 and $1,500 a month. These are walkable neighborhoods filled with cafes, parks, and shops. Or if you love history and charm, you could find a beautifully restored apartment in the historic Casco Viejo. Though prices there will be higher, maybe starting around $1,800 for a unique space. If your heart is calling you to the mountains, then Boquete is a name you'll hear a lot. Nestled in the Chiriqui Highlands, it's known for its eternal spring-like climate, coffee farms, and vibrant expat community. Here, you can rent a lovely 3-bedroom home with a garden and stunning mountain views for about $800 to $1,200. Life here is slower, centered around hiking, community events, and enjoying that world-famous coffee right from the source. It's a place that feels both peaceful and alive. For the beach lovers, the Pacific Coast, often called the City Beaches, is a string of communities starting about an hour from the city. Coronado is the most developed, with golf courses, beach clubs, and supermarkets. A 2-bedroom condo with an ocean view here might rent for $1,000 to $1,800. Further down the coast, you'll find quieter spots like Gorgona or San Carlos, where you can find a casita just a short walk from the beach for maybe $700 a month. It's a life built around sunsets, sand, and the sound of the waves. Now, a little insider tip. When you're starting out, I always suggest looking for furnished rentals. Moving your whole life in boxes is a huge undertaking, and renting furnished for the first 6 months or a year gives you the freedom to truly experience a place before you commit. It lets you test out a neighborhood, understand the flow of life there, and make sure it's the right fit. Many rentals here come fully equipped, right down to the towels and teaspoons, making your transitions so much smoother. You'll also hear the term tropical chic used to describe the style here. What does that really mean? It's about embracing the environment. Think open floor plans that let the breeze flow through, large covered terraces that become your outdoor living room, and natural materials like local hardwoods and stone. It's a style that's both beautiful and practical, designed for comfortable living in a warm climate. It's less about accumulating stuff and more about creating spaces that feel connected to the incredible nature just outside your door. Beyond the main hubs, there are so many other hidden gems, places like the Azuero Peninsula, the cultural heartland of Panama, where you can find a traditional home in a town like Padasi for under $600 a month, or the Caribbean islands of Bocas del Toro, where you can live in a colorful house on stilts over the water. The key is to come and explore. Spend time in these places, talk to the people who live there, and listen to what your heart tells you. Your home in Panama isn't just a place to live, it's a launch pad for a new way of life. It's the anchor that allows you to explore, to connect, and to grow. Whether you choose the hum of the city, the whisper of the mountain breeze, or the rhythm of the ocean waves, the perfect place for your new chapter is waiting for you here. You just have to open the door. Okay, this is a big one. The Pensionado visa is, for many, the key that unlocks the door to Panama. It's often called the gold standard of retirement visas, and for good reason. It's not just about getting residency. It's about being welcomed into the country with a whole host of benefits that make life more affordable and enjoyable. It feels less like a government program and more like a genuine invitation. Let's break down how this beautiful program works, step by step, so it feels less like paperwork and more like a clear path forward. First, who is eligible? This is the best part. You don't have to be of a certain retirement age. You just need to have a lifetime pension or annuity of at least $1,000 per month. This can come from a government source like Social Security, a military pension, or a private company pension plan. If you're applying as a couple, that amount can often be shared. And if you purchase a property in Panama valued at over $100,000, the monthly pension requirement can drop to just $750. It's incredibly accessible. So what's the process? It starts at home. You'll need to gather a set of documents, and it's so important to get this part right. The main things you'll need are a passport that's valid for at least 6 more months, a nationwide criminal background check, like an FBI report, that's been apostilled, and your marriage certificate if you're applying as a couple. The most crucial document is the letter from your pension provider, proving that you have that lifetime income. All these documents need to be authenticated for use in Panama. Once you have your documents in hand, you need to work with a Panamanian attorney. This is a requirement, and honestly, it's a blessing. A good lawyer will guide you through every single step, from reviewing your documents to filing the application with the immigration office in Panama. You have to be physically in Panama to start the process. Your attorney will take you to the immigration office, where you'll register and get your initial temporary card. This part feels like a big step, and it is. You're officially on your way. After you file, it typically takes about 4 to 6 months to receive your permanent residency card. But during that waiting period, you're not in limbo. Your temporary card allows you to stay in the country legally. And once you get that final permanent cedula, your national ID card, that's it. You are a permanent resident of Panama for life, with no need to renew. It's a feeling of security and belonging that is just priceless. Now for the fun part, the perks. This is where the Pensionado program truly shines. As a legal pensionado, you are entitled to a whole list of amazing discounts. You get 50% off entertainment like movies, theaters, and sporting events. You get 30% off bus, boat, and train fares, and 25% off airline tickets for flights originating in Panama. You'll receive 25% off your monthly electricity bill and 15 to 25% off at restaurants. It's incredible. But the discounts go even deeper. You also get 15% off hospital bills and 10% off prescription medications. There are even discounts on things like hotel stays and professional services. These aren't just one-time offers. They are legally mandated discounts that you will receive for the rest of your life as a resident. It's a system designed to honor and support the retirees who choose to make Panama their home. It shows a level of respect that is really quite touching. Think about how these benefits weave into your daily life. That spontaneous movie night is half price. The weekend trip to the beach by bus just got 30% cheaper. Your monthly bills are lower, leaving more room in your budget for hobbies, travel, or just peace of mind. The Pensionado visa isn't just a legal document. It's a tangible, everyday benefit that enhances your quality of life in a very real way. It's Panama's way of saying, "We're so glad you're here." When we think about building a life somewhere new, feeling safe and cared for is right at the top of the list. And honestly, a huge part of that is knowing you have access to great healthcare. This is an area where Panama truly excels, and it's a story that brings so much peace of mind. You'll find a system here that offers world-class care, often with doctors trained in the US or Europe, but at a fraction of the cost you might be used to. So let's look at how it works, so you can feel confident and secure. Panama has 2 healthcare systems that run side by side, the public system and the private system. The public system is run by the government and is very low cost, but it can sometimes involve long waits and crowded facilities. For most expats, the private system is the preferred choice. It's where you'll find state-of-the-art hospitals, modern clinics, and English-speaking specialists. The quality of care in the top private hospitals is honestly comparable to what you'd find in any major U.S. city. Let's talk about some of the main hospitals you'll hear about. In Panama City, you have Hospital Punta Pacifica, which is affiliated with Johns Hopkins International, and Hospital Patilla, which has been serving the community for decades. These facilities are just incredible, with the latest technology and top-notch specialists in every field. In other parts of the country, like David in the Chiriquí province, you have excellent hospitals like Hospital Chiriquí, which serves the entire western region of the country. Now, the cost is what truly sets it apart. A visit to a specialist, like a cardiologist or a dermatologist, in the private system will typically cost between $50 and $70. A general practitioner visit is even less. Imagine being able to see a top doctor without worrying about a massive bill or complex insurance claims. You can often just pay cash for these visits. It's that affordable. This accessibility really changes your whole relationship with healthcare. It becomes proactive rather than reactive. Of course, for bigger things, having health insurance is a smart choice. And here again, the prices are refreshingly low. A good local or international insurance plan for a couple in their 60s might cost between $200 and $400 a month, depending on the level of coverage and deductible you choose. These plans give you access to that excellent private system and protect you from the costs of any major procedures or hospital stays. It's comprehensive coverage that doesn't drain your retirement savings. Dental care is another area where the quality is high and the cost is low. A routine cleaning might cost you $50. A crown, which could be thousands of dollars in the US, might be around $450 here. Many expats find they can get significant dental work done in Panama for less than their deductible would be back home. The clinics are modern, the dentists are highly trained, and the experience is professional and comfortable. And remember those Pensionado discounts we talked about? They apply to healthcare too. You get 15% off hospital bills if you don't have insurance, and 10% off prescription medications at the pharmacy. These aren't small things. They add up to significant savings and make managing your health even more affordable. It's another layer of the support system that Panama has built for its retirees. Having access to this kind of healthcare system is a foundational piece of a happy retirement. It removes a huge source of stress and financial worry that so many people face. Knowing that if you get sick, you will be well cared for in a modern facility by a skilled doctor, without it costing a fortune, that is a profound peace of mind. It allows you to relax and truly enjoy your new life, knowing you're in good hands. One of the things I love most about design is helping people create a space that reflects who they are. And in Panama, you get to do that with your entire lifestyle. This country isn't a one-size-fits-all destination. It's a beautiful collection of diverse landscapes and communities, each offering a completely different way of life. You get to choose the backdrop for your story. Do you see yourself as a city person, a mountain dweller, a beachcomber, or maybe an island explorer? Let's paint a picture of what each of those lives could feel like. If you thrive on energy, culture, and convenience, then city life in Panama City might be your perfect match. Imagine starting your day with a walk or a bike ride along the Cinta Costera, that beautiful greenbelt that stretches along the bay with the skyline as your view. Your afternoons could be spent exploring the historic streets of Casco Viejo, visiting a world-class museum, or catching a symphony performance. In the evening, you have a global culinary scene at your fingertips, from rooftop lounges to hidden gastronomic gems. It's a cosmopolitan, vibrant life. Or perhaps you hear the call of the mountains. In places like Boquete, El Valle de Anton, or Santa Fe, life slows down. The air is fresh and cool. Your daily rhythm is set by the sun rising over the green hills. Your errands might include a trip to the local market for fresh vegetables and artisanal cheese. Your social life revolves around community gatherings, hiking with friends, bird watching, and tending to your garden. It's a life deeply connected to nature and community, a peaceful, restorative existence. Then there is the call of the sea. For so many, retiring to Panama means living by the ocean. On the Pacific coast, in communities like Coronado or Gorgona, you can live a resort-style life. Your days could be filled with golf, tennis, yoga on the beach, and social events at a beach club. It's an active, social, sun-drenched lifestyle with all the modern conveniences you could want. It's the feeling of being on a permanent, comfortable vacation. But there's another kind of beach life here, too. On the Caribbean side, in places like Bocas del Toro, life is more rustic, more bohemian. It's a world of turquoise water, colorful wooden houses, and water taxis instead of cars. Your days are about snorkeling, surfing, or just relaxing in a hammock over the water. It's a laid-back, off-the-grid feeling that attracts artists, adventurers, and anyone looking to truly disconnect and live simply by the rhythm of the tides. And here's a fun fact that really shows you the magic of Panama's geography. This is one of the few places in the world where you can see the sun rise over the Pacific and set over the Atlantic. In fact, the country is so narrow at its center, you can leave the Pacific coast in the morning and be having lunch on the Caribbean coast in less than 2 hours. It's incredible. You can literally have 2 different ocean experiences in a single day. This diversity means you don't have to choose just one thing forever. You can live in the city and have a small weekend cabin in the mountains. You can live on the beach and take regular trips to the city for your culture fix. You get to design a life that has all the elements you love. It's like having a whole palette of beautiful colors to paint with. The question to ask yourself is, what does my perfect day look like? Is it filled with the buzz of a city, the peace of the mountains, or the sound of the waves? In Panama, you don't have to just dream about that day. You can find the exact spot where you can live it every day. It's about finding the paradise that feels like home to you. Every home has its own unique character, its own little quirks and stories that make it special. And Panama is no different. Beyond the budgets and the visas, there's a whole layer of fascinating, fun, and sometimes surprising facts that give this country its soul. These are the little details that will make you smile, the stories you'll tell your friends and family back home. They're the seasoning that makes life here so rich and interesting. Let's dive into a few of my favorites. First, let's talk coffee. We know Panama has great coffee, but did you know it's home to the most expensive coffee in the world? It's called geisha coffee, and it's grown in the high-altitude volcanic soil of the Chiriquí province. At auction, a single pound of the top-rated geisha beans has sold for over $2,500. You don't have to pay that much to enjoy it, of course. You can sit at a cafe in Boquete and sip a delicious cup for a few dollars, knowing you're tasting something truly world-class. Now for the Panama Canal. We all know it's an engineering marvel, but did you know that some people get to cross it for free? Residents who live in the areas west of the canal, like Arellano and La Chorrera, often have to cross the canal to get to work in Panama City. To make their lives easier, there are special ferries and bridge access that allow them to cross without the tolls that the massive cargo ships pay. It's a little local perk that's part of the daily fabric of life here. Here's something that brings huge peace of mind. Panama is located completely outside of the hurricane belt. While its neighbors in the Caribbean and Central America brace for storm season each year, Panama remains untouched by these massive storms. The country gets its share of heavy tropical rains for sure, but you don't have the threat of hurricanes. It's a huge factor for safety and security, especially when you're choosing a place to build your home. If you love a good celebration, you will love Panamanian Carnival. It's a massive 4-day national party that takes place just before Ash Wednesday. The entire country shuts down to celebrate with parades, music, dancing, and the famous colecos, where huge water trucks spray down the dancing crowds to keep them cool. It's a joyous, vibrant, and slightly wild tradition that shows you the fun-loving spirit of the Panamanian people. It's an experience you have to see to believe. Finally, let's talk about the neighbors. And I don't just mean the people. Panama is one of the most biodiverse countries on the planet. This means wildlife isn't something you just see in a national park. It's part of your everyday scenery. You might wake up to the sound of howler monkeys in the distance. You could see a sloth slowly making its way up a tree in your backyard. Colorful toucans and parrots are a common sight. It's like living inside a nature documentary, a constant, beautiful reminder of the incredible world we live in. These little facts and quirks are the threads that make up the beautiful tapestry of Panama. They are the details that go beyond the practical and touch on the magic of this place. It's a country with a story at every turn, from its world-famous coffee to its hurricane-free skies. Living here means you get to be part of that story, discovering new and wonderful things every day. You know, when I'm designing a house, I believe in being honest about the challenges. That old wall might be hiding plumbing issues, or the foundation might need some work. Being prepared for the reality is what makes a project successful, and it's the same when you're moving to a new country. Panama is a wonderful place, but it's not a perfect utopia. It's important to go in with your eyes wide open, to understand the potential challenges so you can navigate them with grace and patience. Let's talk frankly about some of the downsides. First and foremost, let's talk about the weather. While the warmth is a huge draw for many, the humidity can be intense, especially in the coastal lowlands and Panama City. It's a deep tropical humidity that can take some getting used to. Your air conditioner will become your best friend, and you'll quickly learn to run your errands in the cooler morning hours. You'll also need to be mindful of things like mold and mildew in your home. It's a part of life in the tropics that you just have to manage. Next up is something you'll hear expats lovingly call Panama time. This speaks to a more relaxed, slower pace of life, which can be a beautiful thing. However, when it comes to bureaucracy and getting things done, it can be frustrating. Things don't always happen on a predictable schedule. Appointments might be delayed, paperwork might take longer than expected. The key is to cultivate patience. You have to let go of the urgency you might be used to and learn to go with the flow. A good book and a calm attitude will be your best tools. The language barrier is another real consideration. While you can get by with English in many of the main expat areas and in business circles in Panama City, your daily life will be so much richer and easier if you learn Spanish. Simple things like talking to a taxi driver, shopping at the local market, or dealing with a repair person becomes smoother when you can communicate in the local language. It's also a sign of respect that Panamanians truly appreciate. It's worth the effort to take classes and practice every day. We've talked about how affordable local goods are, but it's important to know that imported items can be expensive. If you have specific brands of food, electronics, or home goods that you just can't live without, you will likely pay a premium for them. Things like high-end American appliances, your favorite brand of peanut butter, or designer clothing will cost more than they do back home due to import taxes. The trick is to embrace local products wherever you can. The traffic in Panama City can also be a significant challenge. During peak hours, it can be truly gridlocked. While the metro system has helped immensely, if you choose to live in the suburbs and commute by car, you will spend a lot of time in traffic. Many expats adapt by living in walkable city neighborhoods where a car isn't necessary, or by structuring their days to avoid rush hour. It's a factor you have to plan for if city living is your goal. Finally, while the culture is warm and welcoming, it is different. Social norms, communication styles, and community values can be different from what you're used to. It takes time to learn and adapt. There will be moments of cultural misunderstanding. Approaching these situations with humility, an open mind, and a willingness to learn is crucial. It's part of the journey of becoming not just a resident, but a real member of the community. None of these things are deal breakers. They are simply the realities of moving to a new and different country. Being aware of them ahead of time allows you to prepare, to adjust your expectations, and to approach your new life with a realistic and positive mindset. Every home has its quirks, and learning to love them is part of what makes it yours. When you're starting a big renovation, the first thing you do is make a plan. You create a checklist to make sure every step is covered, from the foundation to the final coat of paint. Moving to another country is just like that. A good plan can turn a daunting process into a series of manageable steps. This is where my Dream Big and Plan Bold relocation planner comes in with all the tools you need to plan your move. More on that later. So I want to give you a quick, essential checklist. The core things to focus on to make your move to Panama as smooth and joyful as possible. First, and this is the most important step, visit first, and not just a one-week vacation. Plan an exploratory trip for at least 2 to 4 weeks if you can. Don't just stay in a resort. Rent an Airbnb in a neighborhood you're considering. Live like a local. Go to the grocery store, take the bus, try to open a bank account. This is your test drive to see if the reality of life in Panama aligns with your dream of it. On that trip, make a point to test out different regions. Don't just go to Panama City. Spend a few days in Boquete to feel the mountain climate. Drive out to the beaches at Coronado to see what that community is like. Each area has a completely different feel, a different climate, and a different community. You might be surprised which one feels most like home to you. Don't just read about them, go and stand in them. Feel the air, listen to the sounds. While you're here, do your healthcare homework. Make appointments to visit the major private hospitals. If you have a specific health concern, try to schedule a consultation with a specialist. Ask about insurance options. Go to a pharmacy and check the prices of any medications you take regularly. Getting a first-hand look at the healthcare system will give you incredible peace of mind and help you make an informed decision about your future care. Think deeply about renting versus buying. My strong advice is to rent for at least the first year. The real estate market here has its own nuances, and it takes time to understand them. Renting gives you the flexibility to move if you find you don't love your first choice of neighborhood or even city. It takes the pressure off and allows you to make a much wiser decision about purchasing a home if and when you're ready. As soon as you're serious about the move, start the visa paperwork process. Specifically, start the process of getting your documents, like your FBI background check, apostilled. This can take several months, so you want to get a head start. At the same time, research and connect with a reputable Panamanian immigration attorney. Having that professional on your team early on will make the entire process feel less intimidating. And finally, start learning Spanish now. Don't wait until you move. Download an app like Duolingo, find an online tutor, or join a local class. Even learning basic greetings and phrases will make a huge difference in your confidence and your ability to connect with people from day one. It's the single best investment you can make in your new life. Every word you learn is a bridge you're building to your new community. This checklist isn't about adding more work. It's about creating a clear, calm path forward. It breaks the journey down into simple, actionable steps. By tackling them one by one, you're not just planning a move. You're intentionally and thoughtfully building the foundation for your beautiful new life in Panama. Panama gives retirees a rare mix beautiful landscapes, affordable modern living, and one of the world's most generous retiree benefit programs. Whether you want to wake up to the sound of waves, the smell of coffee farms, or the buzz of a vibrant city, it's all here. We've walked through the numbers, the homes, and the lifestyle, but what it all comes down to is a feeling. It's the feeling of finding a place where you can not only live, but truly flourish. A place where your retirement isn't an ending, but a vibrant, exciting new beginning. Building a new life in a new country is a big, beautiful project. It takes dreaming, and it takes planning. And if you're thinking about making the move, I want to help you with the planning part. Grab my Dream Big Relocation Planner. The link's in the description. It's got the checklists, budget sheets, and planning tips to make your Panama move smooth and stress-free. It's the blueprint you need to have, designed to help you build your dream with confidence and joy. Thank you so much for spending this time with me today. I hope you feel inspired and empowered. This journey is about finding the home that's been waiting for you all along. Want a scene-by-scene visual plan with suggested B-roll and images for every single point so your edit moves fast? Let me know in the comments. I love hearing from you. Until next time, dream big.